It worked. Hello, I'm Bella, and I've decided to start a YouTube channel, and I thought the perfect way to start a YouTube channel was by doing 50 facts about me. Even though you're probably not very interested to know 50 things about me, because people that are probably watching this are either my mum, my dad and my sister, who probably know all these things about me anyway. So, good work, Bella. So let's get started. I was born on the 24th of November 1994. I have a twin sister. She was also born on that day. I'm 16 minutes older than her. We are identical. I lived in Dubai, have done for 10 years. I moved here in 2007. I was 12. Yeah, we moved here before like the Burj Khalifa was a thing. It was crazy. It's completely changed and I love it. I'm a radio presenter. I also do online stuff like this, but for like radio stations. Yeah, I do kind of all that sort of social media side of stuff, but I also present a show, which obviously I'm giving you such a good example of how I present my shows right now. I do believe in ghosts, and I do believe I've spoken to ghosts before. When I was living in the UK, so I must have been like 11 or 12, my mum and my auntie let me and Morgan get involved in a Ouija board because we're so responsible, and I believe I actually did genuinely speak to my dead step-grandmother. Her name was Ella, and it was lovely to speak to her again. Oh, this is one. Okay, so I am absolutely obsessed with abandoned stuff. I find the idea of just abandoned stuff fascinating. It doesn't matter if it's new and abandoned, it doesn't matter if it's like 16th century abandoned, I'm obsessed with it. I would never ever go into anything abandoned. So maybe like 2009, 2010, there was this housing community called Jebel Ali Village, and it was shut down. Everybody, including some of my friends, they had to be moved out. The reason why was because they were going to build this brand new community. So these houses were abandoned, and then the crash of 2009 happened, so they couldn't actually do anything, so these houses were left abandoned. And I remember going in with some of my friends who weren't scared, and I was so terrified. I would never do it. Sometimes there's this YouTuber, I will put his link below. His name's Dan Bell. If you love abandoned stuff, you will love his channel. I'm weirdly obsessed with Lily Allen. I think she's amazing. I don't really know where it kind of all started from, but when it got to my GCSE year, so I was like 15, 16, 17, 18, they told me to do a subject, so I did it on obsession, and then I turned myself into a character who was obsessed with Lily Allen, and then my teacher went, I think you're just doing your art project based on Lily Allen, and I was like, no, it's a character, I'm just being a character obsessed with Lily and all this sort of stuff. I got an E in art, it didn't go very well, but still like her, still pretty obsessed with her. Nobody else understands it, sometimes I don't, but always gonna love her, I think. I'm strangely fascinated with going through the USA's police bookings. One of the best ones is like California, or Las Vegas. Nevada's a good one, and you can go through and you can basically check the last 24-hour bookings, people that have been arrested and taken into jail, and then you can look at their court dates, or you can look at their mug shots, you can look at why they've been arrested, all that sort of stuff, and then I find their Facebook pages. I'm weird. I'm obsessed with the following things. FBI's most wanted list. I will check it all the time. I'm fascinated that these people have been like MIA for so long but are still breaking the law, and there's like these rewards and nobody can find them. I find that amazing because most of the time they're alive, and then when they find them it says captured underneath, and it's fascinating, especially after Al-Qaeda came, not Al-Qaeda, what was his name? Saddam Hussein was on it for ages. He was number one, but now he's not, obviously, because they killed him. And I just think that's fascinating, that he's not on it anymore. It's not actually a terrorist, it's like a dad who, well, he's not dad anymore, he probably killed like his children or something. I'll stop talking now about that. And then on to a weird one, I like looking at the kidnappings and missing children. I say missing children, I don't look at the missing children, I just look at the missing people. Most of the time I click on the children who have been missing since like 1985 and they can't find them and all that sort of stuff. This is freaking me out. I like looking at sunken ships. Sunken ships really fascinate me, especially like cruise liners. So like the Costa Concordia fascinated me because it was so large and then it just went Do you know what I mean? Titanic is one that doesn't actually fascinate me very much. I don't know why, but I really like scuba diving as well. There's another fact for you, we'll just pop that one in. I didn't even write that one down. I like scuba diving, and a lot of these ships, they get brought up and then sunk down in like Cuba or somewhere, and then you can like dive around them and have a look if they're safe enough. I am also very, very fascinated when it comes to like murders and murderers, and BuzzFeed Unsolved True Crime is the best thing on YouTube at the moment when it comes to what I'm fascinated in, and then it just gets worse and worse because then I Google them and I find, and then at the bottom of Google you'll see like related topics, and then I'll just get into a Wikipedia hole. I'm obsessed with the type of people, like missing people that go missing under suspicious circumstances. In certain countries it's actually legal to force someone to disappear and then they'll never be seen again. So these people are now missing under suspicious circumstances because the last time they were seen was in a place where that's legal to let them disappear. And yeah, like that's fascinating. Like where could that person be in that country? It just really fascinates me. I've been in one serious car accident. I must have been 7, I think, or maybe 4, I don't know. My grandpa, he was driving the car, he picked us up from the airport, driving the car back to where we were staying, and he fell asleep at the wheel. Nobody was like seriously injured, but the cars were written off. So that's why I would say it was a serious car accident. I have a tiny family. So I've got 9 people on my mum's side, which is me, my sister, my mum's sister, my grandma, my granddad, my cousin, my auntie and my uncle. So 9 people on my mum's side. And then on my dad's side, I've got my dad's brother, my dad's sister, my granny, my grandpa, and then my cousin. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, and my sister, obviously. So it's tiny. I only have 2 cousins, and every single one of them is girls. So every offspring that the Tanners and Ogdens have had, Ogdens is my mum's side, Tanners is my dad's side, have all been girls. So it'll be weird if my cousin, myself, or my sister have a boy, because we're not used to that anymore. There's not been any boys in this family at all. They've only ever married into the family. I'm the only family member in my family who has a unisex name. So my mum's called Jo, my dad's called Sasha, and my sister's called Morgan, and I'm Isabella. Yeah, I'm the only one. Passed my driving test first time. All of my friends did it the second time, and they were like, no, we went to the same company and they failed us because they wanted more money out of us. And I was like, well, I passed first time, so. I cannot legally drive in the UK though. I learned how to drive in Dubai, and driving in the UK, I don't know how to drive a manual car either. I just didn't, I wanted to. I started learning how to drive at 17 and a half, and then the day after my 18th birthday, I picked up my driver's license and drove home, because you can legally drive at 18 in this country. I've only ever owned Volkswagen cars. So if you're out there, Volkswagen, hit me up. My first car was a Volkswagen Beetle, it was in 1999. I can do an impression of a helicopter. Now this might be really, really bad, but once I did it, and my boyfriend was like, what was that noise? Is there a helicopter around? And I was like, oh, that was me. So I think it's good, but no one else has ever said anything, so I'm just gonna try it. And then I've run out of breath, can't do it again. So that's basically it, my helicopter impression. My mum almost married a member of the Turkish mafia. And I'm sure she'll kill me for telling that story. So my mum met this guy in Turkey, and they were together, I don't know how long they were together for, but they were together for a while, and I think they all were engaged maybe. One day, I think he either phoned her or came up to like the room or the house that they were staying in or whatever, gave her a wad of money and went, you need to go. That was the last time she ever saw him. So that was like in the 80s, and then a year after I was born, so maybe like 1995, I think he jumped off a building or something. So yeah, I've had to, this one's so stupid. I've had to go to the hospital on 2 occasions because I have put writing utensils in an orifice. The first one, I was like 2, and I stuck a crayon right up my nose, and they couldn't get it out, so I had to go to A&E and they pulled it out. And then the other one, I was like, I think I was in year 3, So I think I was like 7 to 9 years old, I can't work it out. And this is on the same day. My dad bought a motorbike without telling my mum. And then my sister punched a girl in the face. And then I decided, oh my God, everyone else is in trouble, so I'll tell my mum I've done this now. Meanwhile, I probably did it 3 days prior and couldn't get this thing out of my ear. So I went to my mum after she had shouted at my sister. We're on our way to the car. She's angry at my dad. And I went,
Mummy, what happens if you stick a pencil lead in your ear?
And she went, what? That's like a pencil lead in my ear. It was blue. I remember doing it. I was in Mrs. Adams' class in year 3. She was reading something that obviously I was not interested in. Picked this pencil lead up. I was like, I want to save that for later, and stuck it right down my ear. So my mum took me home. When she took me home, she got a pair of tweezers and tried to get it out. Like, she could see it, but she just couldn't get it out. So then we ended up having to go to A&E, and that wasn't fun at all. And it was a very, very long wait. Finally got there, they said that they couldn't do anything and that I had to go to a specialist. So after that, I think like 2 days after, I ended up getting like taken out of school, which was my plan all along, just get a day off from school. It got sucked out of my ear and with a massive chunk of earwax stuck to it. And then it was put in a little pot, and I think I took it into school for show and tell. It was like, look what I put in my ear like 4 days ago in your class, Mrs. Adams. This blue pencil lead. I have a scar here. You won't be able to see it, but it's there. From when I had to get a contraceptive implant taken out. It was just causing me loads of problems, and they took it out, and they had never done a procedure like that in Dubai before because this form of contraception is not available here, blah, blah, blah. So they ended up taking it out of me. They numbed my arm, they put a sheet over my arm, and then I just remember, and it's still to this day, thinking about it, it makes me cringe. He just yanked it out. And this thing had been in my arm for close to 3 years. Like, the muscle had like fused to it and all that sort of stuff. Oh my God, it was so painful. The longest time I have spent in the UK, it was 4.5 months. I'll tell you the story for why. I moved for a boy. Something clever like that. I moved and I worked for his company wrapping burritos. Now, there's one thing that you need to know about me. I was currently producing a breakfast show on a radio station. I was the producer, and I left all of that to wrap a burrito at some festivals. However, the good thing about that was that it gave me the opportunity of going to Glastonbury. The first ever festival I went to, it was Glastonbury, so what a life. I also got to see Lily Allen 3 times in 3 months because it was 2014 and she was doing the festival circuit. When it got to November, I was put on a plane and sent home, which was great. And do you know what? Best thing for my career, to be honest. I don't think working at River Island in Milton Keynes was really for me. So my first job was at 14 years old. I worked at a radio station. Dream was to work at a radio station. I did it at 14, which was great, and I'm lucky to still. Oh no, I'm not doing it anymore. I have been fired. No, I don't have a job anymore. I am looking actively for a job. So if you're watching this and you think she'll be good, I am good, please hire me. I really need a job. I absolutely hate clubbing. I like going to Brasty and I like going to Society. These are places in Dubai. I like doing those things. I like going to a club if I have somewhere to sit. I have no interest going to a club if I have to stand and kerfuffle around with my clutch purse because it's the only bag that I own that's smaller than my actual handbag, and my drink, and I'm in heels and they're hurting, and I can't hear anybody say anything. I just don't have any interest for it. I don't really have time for it. I much prefer to sit at home with a glass of wine watching Harry Potter. I've always wanted to be in Big Brother, and I think this thought has come back because I've been filming all day and I've had my lav mic on all day, and I listen back to some of the audio of when you move it around. Like, that's such a, like, this is such a Big Brother sound. It's like, Big Brother, please can you do something about the air conditioning, or whatever Nikki Graham used to do.
It's a blizzard. I'm going to catch a cold. My
God, take it anymore! I hate shopping. I hate shopping. I don't like it because you can do it online, which means you can do it from home. Why else would you go to a shop? Mall of the Emirates is actually, I'll show it to you. Mall of the Emirates is there. I just have absolutely no interest, to be honest with you. Just don't like shopping. And also, if you go on a Friday, it's like hell on earth, so why do you want to do that to yourself? I'm terrified of awkward silence. My socially awkwardness makes me think that every silence is awkward. So it's quite hard for me. So, I mean, me and my boyfriend have been together close to 3 years, and I've only just started to be comfortable in the whole, okay, we'll sit in silence. This is absolutely fine. Nothing's wrong. Because to me, if I'm sat in silence, 1, I've done something. 2, he's done something. 3, oh my God, we hate each other. 4, we're gonna break up. 5, and then I ask him if he's okay. He's like, yeah, I'm reading a book. I'm busy reading a book, and so are you. Watching, I've got headphones in, I'm watching something or whatever. It's just, I'm just really socially awkward. I have a crooked nose. Can you see it? Oh yeah, now you can. Okay, it's that way. It doesn't bend out like that, but it's bent like that. It's not straight. I wish it was straight. My dad says that if I ever want plastic surgery, the only plastic surgery he'll give me permission to do is a nose job. Thanks, Daddy. I broke my nose diving into a swimming pool that said no diving in it. But I didn't dive like this. I dove like this. Into the pool, and it is the only pain I can remember. If I seriously think about it, I can remember how it felt hitting the bottom of that pool and my nose. Yeah, it was horrible. I have a scar here, which just now, there you go, you can see it a little bit better there. Got a scar there. That was from me and my sister playing it in reception or kindergarten, depending on where you are in the world. And she hit me too hard, I fell over, cracked my head on a concrete flower pot. I dented the flower pot. Yeah. I have met Ollie Murs. Who else have I met? What number were we on? I'm not interested enough to find 50 facts about me. Oh, here's one. I was in a Bollywood movie. I was in a movie called Happy New Year. Sonu Sood was in it, and we filmed it at the Atlantis on the Palm. And we filmed it there, and then me and my sister were so friendly to everybody and funny, and we were nice, and they liked us. They actually invited us to India. Morgan was given a speaking role that was then cut.
You baby, मजा आया?
Don't say this, yeah, babe.
Expect me cheating? Barobar bata.
Oh. I've never done anything sort of hugely thrilling. I've never gone skydiving, never done a bungee jump. Don't think I ever want to. I'm obsessed with roller coasters. I love going on a roller coaster. It doesn't matter where it is, what it is, I will probably end up going on it. If it straps you down and you're going upside down, I will be on it. I think the only roller coasters I don't like to go on are the ones that, when you're sat around the little, it's like a pole, and it goes boom, and then it drops you down. No, I've never been on one, but I just don't think I would like going on one. I'm not interesting enough to come up with 50 facts. I'm sure there will be more. I'm sure I've done more exciting stuff. Okay, love you, bye.